Hey guys, hey y'all, welcome back to another video with me, Lau. I'm feeling funky, fresh, and free today. Today we got a fun video about dad jokes. What are dad jokes? Anybody? Anybody? Raise your hand. Oh, nobody knows. All right, I'll tell you. Dad jokes are jokes that are a little cheesy, a little corny, a little cringy. It's like, Dad, you're not even funny. Oh my God, Dad, you're not. It's not even funny, Dad. You're like trying to hide your smile. It's like a little funny, but it makes you roll your eyes at the same time like, that's dumb. Jokes that dads say. I think it'd be great for learning English because a lot of these jokes are puns. So it's like words and phrases that have a double meaning. And to understand the joke, you have to know both meanings. So I'm going to be explaining the jokes so that you can learn the double meaning of these words and phrases. And you might not even know these words and phrases. So it could be really great for your English knowledge and vocabulary. All right, let's get into it. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Why don't skeletons fight each other? Because they don't have the guts. What are guts? You know what guts are? Guts are your intestines. Literally. Literally, that's what they are. But when we say that somebody has the guts, it's like saying somebody has the balls. It's like saying somebody is brave enough or courageous enough to do something. So the reason why the skeletons don't fight each other is because they're not brave enough, they're not courageous enough, they don't have the guts, but also literally, they don't have guts. They don't have intestines. You get it? You see what I mean? That's a dad joke. But it's kind of funny, but did I laugh? No. But it's kind of cute. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Why did the scarecrow win an award? The scarecrow, you know what that is? It's the thing that scares crows. Crows are a type of bird. It scares them away. So it's that thing that farmers put out in the field that looks like a human, but it's not, to scare away the birds so they don't eat the food, the crops. That's a scarecrow. So why did the scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Okay, so literally, the scarecrow was out, like out there, outside, standing in his field, right? The field, the big plantation, standing in it, literally. But also, when you put the words out and standing together, it makes the adjective outstanding. And outstanding means like fantastic, amazing, wonderful, above average, exceptional, extraordinary. And field literally is like a plantation, like the fields where you grow food, like on a farm. But also field can refer to an area of work. For example, doctors work in the medical field. So when we say the scarecrow was outstanding in his field, it's like saying that he was outstanding in his professional field and he was also literally outstanding in the field. I think that one was pretty good. That was pretty creative. I like that one. Dad's getting pretty funny these days. What can I say? I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug. This is pretty funny. The first time I saw it, I laughed. I think this is my favorite one on the list. So embrace, it has a double meaning. It can be like literally hug, like physically embrace someone, but it can also be to accept something. So he told his wife to embrace her mistakes, meaning like to accept her mistakes. But she did the literal thing and she hugged her mistake, which is her husband. She hugged him. So she literally embraced her mistake. I like that one. That's pretty good. Wasn't it good? Why don't eggs tell jokes? Because they might crack up. Because they might crack up. To crack up is a phrasal verb that means to laugh. We say things like, you crack me up, like you make me laugh. But as you probably know, eggs literally crack. You know, when you tap them on something, they crack. You have to crack open an egg if you're going to use it. So normally we don't use crack up with eggs. We say crack open or just crack an egg. But the joke is that eggs don't tell jokes because they might crack up. You know, they might start laughing, but they might also crack. What do you call fake spaghetti? What do you call fake spaghetti? An impasta. So this is not a real word. The correct word is imposter. Imposter. Imposter is somebody who is pretending to be someone who they're not, or pretending to be something they're not. So the joke is, because we're talking about spaghetti, fake spaghetti would be impasta, like pasta. Why don't oysters donate to charity? Why don't oysters donate to charity? Do you know what oysters are? I'm probably going to put pictures so that you can see what it is. If not, you can look it up. It's a sea creature. So why don't they donate to charity? Because they're shellfish. Because they're shellfish. Do you understand this one? So when we talk about sea creatures that have a shell, like an oyster has a shell, a crab has a shell, a clam, we call them shellfish. Shellfish. But shellfish sounds very similar to selfish. So if somebody doesn't donate to charity, maybe it's because they're selfish, right? They only think about themselves. They don't care about other people. They are selfish. But in this case, we're talking about oysters, so they are shellfish. What did the 0 say to the 8? What did the number 0 say to the number 8? Nice belt. Nice belt. So if you look at the 0 and you look at the 8, really the only difference is that the 8 is like if you give the 0 a belt and it wraps it around his waist and it sucks him in the middle. That's what an 8 looks like, basically. Sucked in tight. I think it's cute. I like that one. Why did the golfer bring an extra pair of pants? The golfer, someone who plays golf. Why did he bring an extra pair of pants? In case he got a hole-in-one. A hole-in-one is a common term in golf. It's when you hit the ball and it goes in the hole with one try. So you only hit the ball once and it goes in the hole. But the golfer brought another pair of pants just in case he got a hole-in-one. Meaning in case he got a hole in one of his pairs of pants, a hole, he has another pair of pants. All the time in English, we use the word one to refer to a thing, like one of the things that we're talking about. Oh, I have a lot of socks. Yeah, but one of them has a hole in it. One of them. One of them. When we talk fast, it's like one of them. One of them. One of them has a hole in it. Yeah, one of my socks. One of them. One of them has a hole in it. Yeah, I got a hole in one. I got a hole in one of those. I got a hole in one of my socks. Instead of saying I got a hole in one of them or one of my socks, we just say I got a hole in one. I got a hole in one. Very common. We also put it with adjectives to make it a noun. For example, the red one, the blue one, the tall one, the short one. But sometimes students use it too much and they should really just use a. For example, I want a sandwich. I've heard students say, I want one sandwich. You don't need to say that unless you're trying to specify that it's only one. Native speakers just say, I want a sandwich. So we don't always use one. Sometimes we use a, but we use one a lot. So you just have to learn which contexts we use which ones. I told my suitcase there will be no vacations this year. I told my suitcase. A suitcase is a very specific type of bag. We only use that word to refer to that specific type of bag. I told my suitcase there will be no vacations this year. Okay, we're not going on vacations this year. Now I'm dealing with emotional baggage. Okay, so do you know the word baggage? Baggage, we also use the word luggage. These are general words to talk about everything that you might bring to the airport, right? Maybe you have a suitcase. Maybe you have a giant backpack like I do. Maybe you have a duffel bag. There's different kinds of bags that you can have, and a suitcase is just one type of bag. But to refer in general to like all of these bags, we often use baggage or luggage. If you've ever been in an airport of an English-speaking country, you probably know these words. But if somebody says that they have emotional baggage, or if they say that about someone else, it's like carrying trauma. It's like not physical baggage, but like emotional baggage. Like you're carrying trauma and emotional issues as if you were carrying like a big backpack of all that trauma and stuff, but it's in your mind. So the joke here is that, I told my suitcase that we're not going on vacation. So my suitcase is sad. My suitcase got emotional. So now I'm dealing with emotional baggage, an emotional suitcase. What do you think? Are these jokes funny? Are you laughing? The good thing is that even if they're not funny, at least you're probably learning English. So what do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? A fish wearing a bow tie. What do you call that? Sophisticated. Sophisticated. So it's like the word sophisticated, but we're talking about a fish. Sophisticated. It's not a real word, but it's a made up word. Do you understand that? If I say it's a made up word, we made it up. I made it up. No, it's not a real word. I just made it up. I made it up. It's like I just invented it. What did one plate say to the other plate? So the plates are talking to each other. What did one say to the other? Lunch is on me. I think that one's pretty easy. Did you get it? So usually when we tell someone, lunch is on me, it means I'm going to pay for it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for lunch. But the plate is saying to the other plate, literally, lunch, the food, is on top of me. It's on me. Lunch is on me. Literally. Why did the tomato turn red? Why did the tomato turn red? Do you understand turn red? Why did it get red? Why did it become red? Because it saw the salad dressing. It saw the salad dressing. Okay, so dressing has two meanings here. One is a noun, one is a verb. A salad dressing is like the sauce for the salad. It's like what you put on the salad to make it taste good. The salad dressing. But to dress is like to put on clothes. Usually we don't say like, I'm dressing, like that's not common. Usually we say, I'm getting dressed. So normally we use to get dressed. That's the standard way of expressing that action. Don't come in, I'm getting dressed. Just a second, I gotta get dressed. Yeah, we can go in a second, I just gotta get dressed. I got dressed already. Yeah, I got dressed 5 minutes ago. I got dressed 5 minutes ago. But for the sake of this joke, we're using to dress without the word get. So we're saying the salad is dressing. The salad is getting dressed. That one is a bit of a stretch, but it's okay. It works. Native speakers get it. So the tomato turned red because it saw the salad getting dressed. It saw the salad dressing, but it also literally saw the salad dressing, like the sauce. I asked the librarian if the library had any books on paranoia. I asked the librarian, the person that works at the library, if the library had any books on paranoia. She whispered, "They're right behind you. They're right behind you." So they're asking for books on paranoia. But the librarian is being paranoid or is trying to make you paranoid. The librarian's acting like they're in a scary movie, saying like, "They're right behind you." I like that one. Okay, maybe that one is my favorite. Okay, this one's easy. You might get this one. You might know the answer before I even say it. Why did the math book look sad? The math book. Why did it look sad? Because it had too many problems. That's a bad dad joke. It's a bad dad joke. It had too many problems. I'm rolling my eyes. Why did the coffee file a police report? Why did the coffee file a police report? Because it got mugged. It got mugged. Mugged is another way to say robbed. It's like if somebody comes up to you on the street, robs you on the street. It's like, I got mugged. It's like, I got robbed. Like I was robbed at gunpoint. Yeah, like that's probably the most common way I would say it. I was robbed at gunpoint. Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me. But mugged, if you ever hear that or see that in movies or whatever, it just means robbed. But the joke is that coffee is often served in a mug. So a mug is a type of cup that has a handle. So usually we serve tea or coffee in a mug or hot chocolate or something, The coffee got mugged, but literally. I wonder if the coffee got mugged while it was in a mug. Mugged in a mug. Yikes. That's a double whammy. Okay, the last one. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Well, I would say all cheese isn't yours because it comes from cow breast milk, which is for the baby cow, not for humans. But that's another topic. But for the sake of the joke, what do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. Nacho cheese. You know what nachos are? Who doesn't know what nachos are? Nachos. Like the corn chips and you put stuff on top. Nachos. The joke is that if you say not your cheese kind of fast in slang, it's like nacho cheese. Like if it's ty, like nacho. So ty often nacho. That's nacho cheese. You don't have to talk like that. That's not like standard American English, but that's just like being funny or slang or whatever. That's a classic joke. I heard that many times when I was a kid. That's like probably the most famous joke on this list. I actually didn't know most of the other ones. I'd never heard them before, but that one I've heard many times. All right, so that was it. What do you guys think of this video? I really liked making this video. I think this topic was fun. I hope you learned some things in English, and I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, spectacular day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.